Hi there, friends. I'm Vasco. I'm part of the team behind the first global Scrum Master Summit. If you're a Scrum Master, the Scrum Master Summit is a place to learn, to share, and to meet new friends. We will have lots of live sessions where you can meet and network with other Scrum Masters from all over the globe. So make sure you check it at bit.ly/SM Summit and the numeral 21. That's bit.ly/SMSUMMIT21. We have 7 amazing keynotes or more, as we are still organizing the conference as I record this, and 8 tracks that feature people like you and thought leaders sharing their insights and knowledge to help you become an awesome Scrum Master. So once again, check it out at bit.ly/SM Summit 21. That's all lowercase, all one word, SM Summit and the numeral 21. I'll see you on the virtual conference floor. All right, now on to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday Leading Change episode, this week with Evelien Acun-Roos. Hi, Evelien. Welcome back.
Thank you, Vasco, for having me in your podcast.
Absolutely. So, Evelien, we were just yesterday talking about how important the Scrum Master role is to bring this impetus for change, right? We were even talking about friction and how sometimes that's actually a good thing. But today we talk about a concrete change program or a concrete change process you were involved with, and we want to go through the story of how that change process developed, so that we can understand the tools, the tips, the tricks, the techniques you learned back then that you still apply today. So tell us that story, Evelien.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. And I've worked in many organizations, from small organizations to very large companies. Like I've worked at Unilever, but also like real small companies. I've worked at retail. I've worked at banking. So I have a big variety of organizations where I work for. But the example I want to give you is from an organization where we had different layers of management, and the highest layer of management wanted to work more, or wanted their employees to work more in an agile way. So they set up a program, they hired agile coaches or scrum masters, and they said, okay, we're going to get this thing on the road. And there was also a middle management layer that had to kind of execute that. But the middle management layer was showing resistance against the agile way of working. And one of the things that we found out is because those are people that have been working like for 20 years to gain that position in middle management. So they felt threatened by the agile way of working because, well, it was new. They did not know what to expect. What will it mean for my role? So there was a little bit of resistance. And the thing that we did, we took them along in every step that we were taking. And we started with like the agile leadership training. So having them really be aware, okay, this is your role. This is what it means for you when we start working in a more agile way. But also, this is what it could mean for your results. This is what it could mean for your results from your department, or from your business unit. Because I think that is a question that middle management asks themselves when they have to start working in the agile way, is what's in it for me? Right? And we try to make it very transparent. What's in it for you? What could be possible outcomes of this agile transformation? Could it be that we are delivering more values, or that we handle the incidents quicker, or that we have happier clients or customers? So taking the middle management along in the whole agile transformation really made them feel more comfortable with it. And it did not go overnight, of course. It's not that we said, okay, here's your training, go visit that training and you will be cured of all that resistance. That's not how it worked. But we did take them along in every step. So another thing that we did is we did delegation poker with the middle management. So we listed all the activities of the managers that they were doing now, like handling people who are sick for a longer time, or educations for people, but also like new clients relations, that kind of stuff. So all the things that management was busy with. And then we said, okay, what are things that you can delegate to your people, to your employees, to your team members? What are things that you need to keep by yourself, or need to do by yourself? And that made it really transparent about, okay, actually, we're always, as a manager, you're always busy with like 1,000 things, right? But if we look at this whole list of activities, there are some things that, taking the self-management or self-organizational skills of the teams in mind, there are some things that we can delegate that will also make your life as middle management a little bit easier. And then we had, of course, we had those Scrum teams working in a Scrum way of working. So, and we invited all the managers at the sprint review. So there they got to see, okay, this is what the teams are doing. This is how satisfied the customers are, and well, this is what they're planning to do. So they really were also involved in the Scrum process. It's not that they were looking from the sideline, looking, okay, what's happening in teams. They were really involved in what are they delivering, what is coming out of those teams, and what are they going to work on. And it resulted in I think one of the biggest changes in that organization is what at a certain moment of time, they said, okay, we've been working with this for a few months now. And the teams started also to learn more about Scrum, and some were using Kanban. And they said, how can we improve this way of working even better if we craft the teams differently? So they now had separate discipline teams, like focus teams, or maybe component teams, if you want to call it that way. How about if we change up the format of the team? And then the middle management said, okay, Evelien, what's the best way to do this? And I tried to convince them about self-selection, about self-selecting the teams. And well, the middle management also had grown in the agile way of working, of course. And they said, okay, well, let's try this. And having that self-selection day where people were able to choose their own teams was, for me, one of the biggest results that I've seen in that middle management. So they've gone from having some resistance into letting the selection of the teams or the team members up to the team members themselves. I think that was a major accomplishment, I think, in that organization.
I have to say that this story sounds very familiar. Anyone that has worked in larger organizations has probably seen a variant of this story, right? Where middle management feels either threatened, or they don't see what the role should be for them or could be for them. And they go like, okay, so we have now this Scrum Master. So what happens to my team leads? And then the team leads are also unclear. So what's my role now? Because Scrum doesn't have a team lead. So all of those are actually very valid concerns. And for me, the key takeaway of this story is really how you were able to start the change exactly there, right? So talking to middle management and involving them in the whole process, finding the benefits for them, what's in it for me, great question, and then also making them feel involved through what is already in place, right? Like the teams are delivering something that needs to be demoed, and that's a great place to involve the middle management and the leaders in the organization. So that was a brilliant story. Thank you for sharing that, Evelien.
You're welcome.
Leading change is one of the core skills we must acquire, but it is only one of the steps towards our success as Scrum Masters. Tomorrow, on Success Thursday, we will talk about how to define success for the Scrum Master role. We'll cover tips on how to measure your way to that position, and most importantly, how to develop that focus on continuous improvement that is as important for Scrum Masters as it is for teams. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.